Daniela. Daniela holds a PhD in physics and worked as a researcher at CERN for more than 8 years. Daniela is currently a partner at NXT7, a venture builder for scientific entrepreneurship, and is commercial director of Alcance Innovation Consulting, a company specializing in strategic innovation management, tax incentives, and funding for research and development. Daniela, welcome. I hand the floor to you.
Thank you very much, José. Very thank you for this introduction. I'm very happy to be here today and to be able to share my working journey with you, and hope I can inspire other scientists to make this move as well from academia. And I put here my contact at LinkedIn, but I also strongly recommend that we get connected through the CERN alumni. That's a very nice network. I've been using it quite a lot. So my journey at CERN started a while ago. I must say, much earlier than the previous speakers. First time I came to CERN was in '96. So I was what we call a winter student. I come from Brazil, although I have Portuguese nationality. And I come to CERN as a summer student from Brazil that happened to be winter at CERN. So it was very unusual program. And I came to work with the beach detector at Delphi. And I got passionate by the project. So I decided to do both my master and my PhD together with the Delphi detector. So as a physicist, I came and I did a lot of data analysis for tau physics for the master and supersymmetry for the PhD. But while I was doing the PhD, LHCb was also being built. So I decided to make a move from physics and also start learning microelectronics. And I helped to design the Carioca chip. That is an acronym for, I'm Carioca, I'm from Rio. But in fact, the Carioca chip is the CERN and Rio current amplifier. So it was a chip that I developed and is being used at the muon chamber at the LHCb. And then once I finished my PhD at CERN, then I applied for a fellow position, being Portuguese. So I got an applied fellow at the Knowledge and Technology Transfer Division in 2003. And I was a fellow there for 2 years. And at that time, I can't see all the screen, but at that time we were, I was working a lot with thin film monasic applications and also medical X-ray imaging, together with industries. And once I finished the fellow, I applied for a position and I got this position at the KTT division. So I was there at CERN until 2008. And on this position, it was very important because I had the opportunity also to supervise a couple of summer students, PhD students, and master students. And I happened to develop a big project with General Electric that ended up on this new computer tomography that GE has on the market now, this one here. And I must say that this was a mind-blowing project for me because suddenly I realized that a lot of technology, a lot of the things that we do at CERN has a lot of applications at society. And then I decided that I would leave CERN and go to the market, as I used to say. So here is just, okay, this is a couple of, the image of the detector I used to do at CERN, and that's the machine that became now in the market. So I said, it's time to make a move, but I didn't know exactly what I would do. So I stopped my contract at CERN, and then I took a sabbatical. So I decided I needed other projects, and I needed to understand how I would just insert myself on the market, which type of job I would look for. So I decided to take a sabbatic for 10 months and doing a lot of sailing and getting certifications on being certified as a sailor. And after that, I started my career again in Geneva. So I went to IDQ. There was a startup from the University of Geneva, and I became the sales manager. So I moved direct from being a researcher at CERN to become a sales manager at a startup company. And the idea there was to develop a whole branch of new products for the company. That it was a branch that I call the optical scientific instrumentation. So it was hard work, I must say. Learning by doing, what was very exciting. Was really very in contact, very close still to the research, to the scientific job we would do at CERN, at the KTT. So it was very interesting. And by that time, I decided it was time to move back to Brazil. I had stayed in Geneva for almost 11 years. So I decided to apply for a position at CSEM, you know, the Swiss Center for Electronic and Microsystems, had just opened a innovation center in Brazil. And I applied for a position to become their R&D Manager. So I got this position and I came back to Brazil to start the R&D part of the center. So basically looking for technology, we would transfer technology to Brazil, look into the team that would hire and look at the funding, how we would fund an innovation center in Brazil. So this was a job I did for almost 3 years until the end of 2012. And I said that the center, I decided when I had a team of a bit above 50 people there and all the resources to start to build the laboratories, then I decided it was time to move and to found my own company. So I make the move not for working to a consulting company, but I decided to become a consultant myself. So I opened my own consulting company and I started working through a long period since 2012 until now. So all the participation I have on other 2 companies was become of this consulting company. And I decided that I understood that, I'll talk a bit later, but by being at CERN, you become a generalist. So you get a broader view of technology, you have a broader view of culture, and you have a lot to bring to companies that are very niched on a niche market. So you help them to look to other sectors. And that's exactly what happened with IDQ. When I joined IDQ, was a company that was doing quantum cryptography for Swiss banks. And we built up a whole set of optical instrumentation there because they did have the technology inside, but they didn't have, they haven't looked into other markets, where they could apply this technology. So by understanding this, I become a consultant for a whole range of companies in Brazil and abroad. Nowadays, I also do consultants for Saudi Arabia, so all remotely. So I heard the questions we were talking before. And on this journey, last year, I became a partner, and I'm occupying now the position of being a commercial director of Alcance. That is a very well-established consulting company in Brazil that is specialized in innovation projects and funding for innovation projects. And this year, I decided that in addition to be a consultant, I would imprint myself. So I opened a venture. It's a venture builder with other partners, and it's focused on scientific entrepreneurship. So we only look to apport not only the money, but also the smart, so I say the smart money. We are part of a competence to deep tech companies. And thinking on, I already said some of this, but what I learned from CERN is that I put here a few points that I wanted to highlight is that really, when we are at CERN, we are used to work on big projects. So these big projects makes you are specialized in one technology, in one application, but you have to understand the context of the whole experiment. And not only know if the experiment you're working, but the whole concept, why CERN is there and how this experiment is contributing to CERN mission. And this is an asset that you tend to minimize when you are at CERN, because it's obvious when you're there. And this has a huge value when you are outside CERN, because you have a broader view when you enter a company as a consultant, and you want to understand the position that this company has on the market, and also thinking globally. So another thing that I want to bring is that working at scale, it's really, we are used to work with huge teams, projects that are quite expensive and that have a global impact. This is also an asset that I wanted to highlight here. Real teamwork, building an experiment at CERN, it's, you know, in the marketing companies, you say, it's important to be able to work as a team. If we don't do this at CERN, then you don't build experiments. So this consensus building, it's the real teamwork that it's needed everywhere. Another point is the multicultural, because, you know, as I said, it's huge experiments, people from everywhere in the world, improves a lot of your networking. You get to do the relations with not only different cultures, people from different countries, but also different industries and different backgrounds. And being able to talk to them all is also something that helps a lot. And of course, the brand of CERN. I think, you know, CERN is a brand of excellence that opens a lot of door when you're outside CERN. So being able to say that, you know, you worked at CERN, you had this experience, it's already a strong asset. So I think that's it. It's my contribution. We can talk more during the Q&A. And yeah, I'll be happy to connect with you from the CERN alumni. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniela. Well, the nice quote there. The mind that opens up to a new idea never returns to its original size.
That's
Very
something that, oh, thank you. No, that's something that it motivates myself a lot, because this is exactly what happened when I decided to leave CERN. You know, the medical application project make this with myself, you know.
So yes, thanks for the very insightful words there. Great, yeah, points to think about, that we don't necessarily realize our value while we're at CERN, that we're actually gaining it the whole time. It's nice to reflect on that.